Welcome back, guys. Harry here, known as Trade Sharp, and today's going to be an interesting video. A lot of things happening on the Bitcoin and Ethereum charts, mostly Bitcoin, to be honest. Very interesting signal played out, and also one of our watch list items here at Adapt Crypto, which is Reef, hit our first target, which is great. But I want to have a look at the charts because we're not just going to show you the targets we've hit. We want to give you the opportunities. And with Reefs, the mainnet launch coming and their IDO launch of their Reef Starter project, which is developed on their own chain, I do think that, we could see a push from the ecosystem, and I want to see if the charts are lining up. So I'm going to bring that to you. And guys, if this information is not always given out on YouTube because it takes time to edit videos and post, so you have to be in our Telegram. And our Telegram, we give you there and then information is out. Join, the link is in the description, so just be sure to hit that so you can join and just get notified and be part of the community, hopefully bring some values and at the same time gain values because we feed off each other. So yeah, definitely join that. We do have a spreadsheet that works on releasing the latest projects, so definitely keep your eyes on that. But please join the Telegram, it will be great. So stick around to the end of the video so we look at that. But first we need to look at Mr. Bitcoin. So Mr. Bitcoin here broke that $48,000 level, which is very unfortunate, and that automatically tells me structure broken. This is just a little bit of a correction before continuing more downside. Looking at the daily here, we did close below that pivot. This was a crucial pivot. And where's your next support? Coming here at 44. So let's say around 45,000 if you take the most recent, right? About up here 45. But we can, put something like this, draw a nice box around it. And yeah, I do think we're going to probably come down and tap this area here for sure. But I do think we have a bit of a bounce here on the lower time frames. Looking at 4-hour Stokes, they are starting to turn up, which is good. Also, remember that 3-day trend line we've been looking at, right? That has caught all of the lows, the major lows, the lows when Bitcoin dumped from 12 to 9,000, the low after the pandemic. Well, guess what, guys? Unfortunately, we have broken that trend line, which is very misfortunate. And yeah, that's telling me that we're looking for more sideways and more down, a longer accumulation. I do think on the chart we do end up seeing something where we pop down and probably even tap these wicks. This looks like a nice accumulation area, to be honest. Coming down here, rounding out, pop, probably come back down, and then boom, and then boom, get some of that parabolic run back up, right? And this is taking a period of time, and that would bring us down here to 41,000. Maybe even the possibility, we do even have the possibility to breach into these areas, but I want to give this area a chance, and we'll take it day by day. But this 41,000, 40,000 area, I do think we accumulate and do something like that. Similar to something in 2013, which we saw, huge run without breaking structure. We saw an accumulation here before continuing going, and then this was the massive top. So I do think we have something like this that goes on here. But if you notice something, here was very aggressive dump, right? This was like a blow off top and then a correction. Here we haven't had that blow off top, and never in Bitcoin's history has there been the non-blow off top. We can always see that Stokes were either very high. RSI, if we were to bring out RSI here, RSI, we can see that the RSI always used to get into, look, here it got into the 90 percentile before having a massive correction. Bitcoin here looks like a table, for God's sake. It's flat. It just went up, flat, pump, flat. And look where the RSI, on this point here, got to where? It got to 67, right? I mean, so never in Bitcoin's history have we seen that. And I will, mention one thing though, which is this. You see this red line on my chart, so we can remove this. So I don't think it's over, but I do think that we go sideways. And this red line signifies how long that basically the parabolic move will last for, right? Just based on previous moves, right? It's a small calculation, and we are just about hitting that, to be honest. We're about the end of May, so this whole accumulation can go a bit more. But look how we're holding this level. If you guys look at this as an abstract point of view and imagine this as a box, right? and this is your accumulation. So what you call this is accumulation distribution, right? Accumulation distribution, right? And this is basically, you can look at this as accumulation area. Accumulation. As soon as we break this box, yeah, that's it. Then I'm going to say this was the top. We're going to have a longer correction, probably back down, even down to the possibility back to 20,000. But I don't think that's happening. I want to make that clear. But accumulation and then a distribution, right? And in a bull run, what you have to notice is that when the downside is becoming bigger than the upside, that is the time where structure is also flipped, right? So if we look at the upside move compared to the downside move, and this is the upside move, 94%, the downside move, 25% with the possibility of 35. That's not, even if we flip structure, when you change structure, the downside moves will be bigger than the upside moves. That's why traders always want to trade with the trend. So if you look at this, our downside move, so our last significant upside move was 200%. Then our downside moves is, 66, but, you have to understand a 66% move down is much bigger than a 200% move up because of how it works and on logarithmic and stuff like that. But you can see here when we start fiddling with these numbers, 50% for a 43% downside, right? So it retrace basically more than the whole move, right? And it's when you're measuring downside moves, guys, you have to measure using actually pips, not percentage. So if we look at this points here, we have 3,210 points. And if we take the downside move, you can see it's 4,052 points. You can't use percentage on the way down. It doesn't work. So you can see the downside moves are bigger than the upside moves. And that's not something we're seeing here. So I do think we go into that accumulation. And that's basically my thoughts, popping down on the lower time frames here to wrap up the Bitcoin thoughts. Yeah, we do. I do think we can, if we close above this resistance, I do think we pop up probably, that 51. And if we do close above 51, possibility 53, but I think it's just gearing up to put in another lower high before coming down and probably tapping the target down here. Ethereum, it held that level well, right? We basically put in a double bottom for Ethereum, and that's going with the altcoin narrative. Look at all the altcoins, pure green, and that's just Ethereum as well, right? And I do think Ethereum pops up now. Probably, I need a lower time frame. It's all green. Yeah, probably. Closing above this pivot. That's great. So probably retest down here, flips, and we're gonna come up probably 3922. But I would keep cautious at around 3,890. And after that, it's a bit difficult to say because Ethereum is being quite correlated with Bitcoin. Because if we look at this 1 hour red candle here and I'm going on Bitcoin, you'll see the same thing. So it is following. But Ethereum, I'm still remain long-term bullish. It's putting in higher lows. We haven't seen structure flip. So Ethereum, I am looking for some more upside on Ethereum, to be honest. So with that being said, let's get straight into Reef. All right. So yeah, just keep your eyes on Ethereum on these certain levels here at around let's just see. Yeah, at that, if that 3,647 level breaks, then I would be looking for a deeper correction, probably back down here to 3,400. But let's go into Reef. All right, Reef, and we'll go on this. So first of all, we need to go to the higher time frames. We'll go to the weekly and see what we got going on the weekly. So we can see here's our last significant low on the weekly, right? We can see that our last significant high is up here, and this is how we're going to adjust our levels, right? So this is looking good. We'll move this up here. We'll draw a nice box around it. And Reef, on the other hand, is having a nice accumulation at these higher levels, similar to what Bitcoin is doing. But I do think Reef could be in for a good move because of this base that it's putting in here. And we jump down on the lower time frames to see our opportunities. And there's a very clear support level here, which if Reef was to come down here to 0.036, I definitely do look at this as an opportunity, not financial advice, of course. But you can see how this level has been held, right? And you can call this as a head and shoulders, but all it is it's a support, right? And if it comes back down here, I do expect a bounce. Look how many times prices bounce. But if we do get the closure below on the 4-hour time frame, then you can look to cancel your position, right? Because then we can see more downside. But if it does continue to go up, what we'll see is some higher low structure. We can see that we are putting in also some resistance at these levels. You can see this structure ascending towards the upside, and if we were to break above this area, I do think we have nice moves, and that area is coming in above 0.05. So automatically buying at these lows with some news fundamental pushes, it's a nice 30% move to the highs, and then I do think we see a continuation. So let's go grab some continuation points from the daily to see what type of levels we will look at for targets. So we'll go and just draw a nice Fibonacci here, and all-time high, first target, look how perfectly that is tapping it. So all-time high will be a pullback target, and that all-time high is coming in at 0.058, and then after that we'll see a nice push to 0.69. So a nice number there, and yeah, that would be a nice clean 2x. So definitely keep your eyes on Reef. Charts looking good, fundamentals looking good. Join the Telegram, and yeah, keep up to date. And I also, if you have any questions about Bitcoin and stuff, I'm always updating you there. Only when something major happens in the chart and you guys need to know, I will make a video. But with that being said, take care, trade sharp, and until next time, peace.